Can I get a double cheeseburger, ketchup and mustard, extra butter on the bun while I'm fat?
Mustard, ketchup, extra butter.
Yep. Let me get a side of French fries. Make sure those joints are crispy for me.
Yep.
And let me get a small. Let me get a small vanilla milkshake.
Yeah, and everybody know you lying because you like, are we rolling? And do you make the mistake of looking dead in the camera like we rolling?
You rolling?
Nobody got shot on deal.
Yo, it's Smooth Dude from Neon Vice.
It's Kel 16, front man,
And we are Neon Vice.
and we're Neon Vice.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your local homeboy Crisis. We are officially in the building, man. I got the homeboys with me, Neon Vice. What's shaking, guys?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother?
Blessed and highly favored, man. Amazing project.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get straight into it, man. Of course, the people want to know why the name Neon Vice.
The name Neon Vice,
And where did it come from, of course?
no doubt. It came from Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Microsoft who didn't pay me to say that. It came from me just being bored with doing solo stuff that no one cares about. I think I was playing Call of Duty or something like that, and I asked my brother Smooth, and we were just talking, and I was just like, "Yo, man, like, why don't we form a duo and call it Neon Vice, man? Like, why don't we just start making the music that we love,
Right.
the sounds that we want to hear?" And he was just like, "Yo, man, that name is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a landmark, bro. That's amazing. But I can't play chords." And I told him not yet. And in short order, that's 3 years ago to now. And that's what we're doing. And the name, it's not an acronym. It doesn't really stand for anything except for just being addicted to vibrant colors and what brings about those colors in your mind. And for us, it's music, it's movies, it's women, our wives. Shout out to our wives.
Shout out to the
Shout out
wives.
to our kids. Those are the things that bring about the color in our lives. And when you listen to us, we want you to be addicted to that color. We want you to continue to listen and fiend for more. So, in essence, that's Neon Vice.
Colors are important to us.
Very.
Like, we tend to always like put color with what we listen to.
Right.
You know, like it's like a mood board sort of.
Absolutely.
It's dope.
Where you listen to a certain thing or a certain song, and it gives you a color or it gives you a feeling. That's what it is.
That's what's
You
up.
know what I mean? So we associate with color as a mood board sometimes.
Like, you guys got like a real different sound, you know what I mean? Like, when people who like come together and they form this type of group, or they are some type of whatever interaction they have when it comes to music, they have like some type of bond, you know? How did you guys like start understanding each other? How did you mesh, in a sense? I know it must have took some time before y'all really got to it, like really everything started panning out for you guys, but like, how did you find that foundation as Neon Vice to make this type of music?
First and foremost, before the music, we've been friends for over 10 years. So I think we meshed before we knew we meshed. We always had the same likings of things. Like we liked a lot of the same things, like video games and stuff like that, and music for the most part. Like, we grew up like just loving that type of music. But we really found out that we meshed is like, it was like 2017. 2017, into 2017,
It's like
2018.
discovering a whole new layer of us.
We have a song on the EP called What a Dream. And I pinned that, like we laid that, and like that's when we knew, like, we really got something. We can do this. Like, it wasn't like, and it happened organically. Everything that has happened with us has been organic, for the most part. Like, it's just been something where it was like, man, it's organic, but it works. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
I would say when we were in the process of making the EP, we did a song called What a Dream. And in the process of making it, and laying the lyrics down and, you know, the production behind it, we knew we was like, yeah, we got something. It's working and we are interchangeable. So
Absolutely. And to expand on that more, I knew that it would work once I got done writing the second verse. The second verse was the hardest for me to come up with because I was boring myself with writing the record. You know, I felt like the first verse was always the first verse. How it came out, you know, it was what it was. The hook was always the hook, but it was the second verse that I really wanted to be more. I really wanted to be more transparent with our listeners and, you know, tell them a little bit about myself. I have one of the lyrics in the second verse was Blue put the bottle down before he found Jesus, and I crossed the stage with teenage features. My grandfather had died when right after I graduated high school, and you know, we would call him Blue affectionately, and his death had a huge impact on me. So What a Dream was just me really, aside from me talking to my son, aside from me just being grateful that I could make music with my brother, just being grateful to have life and big up his name and put his name in a record that meant a lot to me. And What a Dream is the only record on the EP that really talks about us, specifically me. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to get more into talking about him on the next EP. But yeah, it was just important for me to strike a chord with our audience and say something about who we are as Neon Vice. Yeah. So at least on What a Dream, you get to know a little bit about the front man, and I'm gonna make sure I big him up on the next one. So,
but also, not to cut you off.
Nah, yeah. It's all good.
We always dreamed about working together. We'll always talk about it all the time. So that's where me pushing that production on there, making that, and we titled it What a Dream. That's what it means to me. You know, he explained what it means to him, but that's what it means to me. Like, cause I always wanted to make something with him. Like, we always like, yo, man, what if we made beats together? What if we made music together? Da 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 da. And we actually started doing it, and then we actually started making something that was tangible. That was big for me, because little do people know, like 3 years ago, I couldn't do this, and we used a lot of like confidence. We trusted in our faith that we didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but we trusted in it. We trusted in the process. So that's where that came about. Like, we just trusted it, man. We like, yo, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We kept pep talking ourselves like, yeah, we're going to do this. And we really did it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, I've been rapping since I was 14, and I didn't get good at it till I was like 19. This came out of nowhere.
But it's also been inside me for a long time. I've been around musicians. My dad was a singer. I have been around people who can play keyboards and do stuff like that.
And you got a dope ear for music in general. So.
Yeah.
Incredible ear.
So a lot of it comes natural.
Right.
So when he said, not yet, he knew soon you will, because it's already in you. You know.
So, like, what's a session like between you, like, recording with you guys? Is there a certain food that you gotta have? Is the lights gotta be set a certain tone, or?
Lights for sure.
I need darkness.
Yeah.
I need darkness.
The irony of y'all names being Neon Vice.
No, but see, that's the thing. I need darkness with like lights, either in the corners of the room or at the bottom of the room, and water. I need lights and a lot of water, and Lifesaver gummies.
Lifesaver gummies, definitely with the gummies.
Specifically the neon kind. Think, I really gotta stop plugging the neon thing so much, but that's what I like.
Dang, for me, the Fritos honey barbecue twist. Yo, outstanding, B. Like,
sponsor us, please. Commercial.
Outstanding. Something. Like, what a chip.
What a chip.
What a chip this is, my nigga.
Chip.
What a chip.
Oh, chip. Yeah, chip.
But yeah, a lot of water, man. A lot of prayer. Just a lot of like positive energy, like as much as we could, because it wasn't always there. Like that. It wasn't always positive, and that's when you get the best of us. You know, when the energy is strong and it's happy. You know what I'm saying? So we try to stay there as much as we could. Our energies are never always on top. We're human.
Right.
So some days like he would come in and I could tell his energy wasn't there, but my energy was. So I had to, you know what I'm saying, know that was that, and then work through it to get him to where I knew he would be all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So vice versa. So it was always trying to seek that positive energy, always speaking, you know, positive thoughts into him, vice versa. A lot of water, a lot of little snacks, you know what I'm saying? You mentioned the joints, mentioned the Fritos and stuff like that, and just, you know, just trying to focus and stay consistent.
And like a typical session, to touch on that, the other part of that question. A typical session is like I have songs ready, and he'll have the beats, and we'll typically have the songs playing before we go record, because it saves time.
Absolutely.
But some of the best shit was created, as I'm sure any musician will tell you. Some of the best shit is created in the studio, door cracked, God can come in, and you can improvise. And before you know it, you got something that is timeless. Yep. So it's kind of a combination of both of those methods.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Definitely.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I want to touch on the fact that you know what I'm saying, you guys said like times weren't always positive. You guys didn't always have positive energy. What would be some ways, like, or not ways, but what were some things that y'all went about to stay positive? Because what motivated you guys to keep going? You know, because it could have been times where you guys been like, you know what, this ain't the move, bro. Like, let's just let's cut all ties now.
I have to say my kids. This shit can't be sometimey. I'm 30 years old. In 10 years, I'll be 40. Who's gonna care? You know what I'm saying? Like, just from a selling record standpoint, my nigga, like, who cares? You know? And that, again, not to say that you can't live your dreams at whatever age, but, like, I know for me, it was just like, shit, I get off the pot. You gotta do something that, and it's just like, I can't work no regular job. So whenever we felt some kind of way about the process, about each other, about how long this is taking, we just remember, like, you know, my daughter in 10 years is gonna be 20. You know, in 10 years, my middle child, Taya, shout out to Taya, she's gonna be 16, and my son will be 15. And it's like, what will I be doing? I don't want to be doing nothing else but this. I don't want to be doing nothing else but this shit right here. So when it comes down to him, you know, I tend to, you know, talk a lot. I tend to give him pep talks a lot, you know, and big him up on his gift. But at the same time, you know, he does the same thing for me when I need it. I'm a lot more down than he is. My emotions are everywhere because I experience just so much. Even right now talking to y'all, like, it's like, you know, happy, sad, you know, it's just, my emotion goes up and down, and he keeps me leveled. You know, he can quiet the noise in my head. You know what I mean? And when I need to focus, you know, he's always there. Like, look, like, remember who you are. And I try to do the same thing for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nigga, I'm not trying to get signed. I'm trying to own everything, and this is hard, bro. We just got our LLC ratified. Like, this is hard. Yeah, this is hard. Shout out to the Joy at Reservoir Park.
For sure. So, for me, it would be my wife. Why I say her? Because she keeps me, like, where I need to be all the time.
Amen.
But she also, and this may sound weird or it may not sound weird, but she'll put me in uncomfortable situations where the uncomfortability is for me to do better. You know, when things aren't always right. And I'm not just talking about what's going on in our household or marriage, but strictly Nia advice. She's like, what you doing? Why are you know what I mean? Like, you talk about you want to do this and want to do that, then you need to.
My wife does the same.
Make sure that you're holding yourself accountable.
Absolutely.
So that's why, like, she's number one for me, dude. Because she makes sure, like, I'm on my A game. She don't leave room for me to slack.
Same. Shout out.
So.
Shout out.
Wives are When you find the right one.
Our wives are very integral to this operation.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what the hell. I honestly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my lady.
And it's also not only, you know, her, it's also friends too that, you know,
Absolutely.
put you in those uncomfortable, like sometimes I want to be uncomfortable. Like when I see somebody do something that's good, that's on a caliber that I know where I can be, I'm like, that's tight. Because it's making me uncomfortable, making me want to go harder.
Yeah.
To
Brian
be
said it
good.
best. Yep.
Like to be good. You know what I'm saying? So
becoming uncomfortable with being uncomfortable.
exactly. And that's exactly what that is. So it's like
True.
So, what got you guys in? Like, what made you come? First of all, how did y'all know the project was done? Like, you know, like you guys was like, what? You guys were working on this project for how long? First of all,
3 years.
3 years.
We didn't know it was done.
Okay, so what gave y'all the like? All right, boom, this is when it's dropping, and we whatever we got, this is what we doing.
Professional deadlines for ourselves. We were taking too long, and our creative energy was moving away from Why Her. And so it was like, my nigga, what the hell are we gonna do with these songs? So we cut a lot of songs mid-development. It's like, we're gonna focus on these. And the crazy thing is the way how God worked, he gave us like 2 more. While we were focusing on like the core 4, he gave us the intro, which we had already had and didn't even know we had. And then we got Pending First Date.
which Penny First Day came later.
That was the last song we recorded before we were like, we're done. And that was before we were getting our masters back in January, and we were like, yeah, we're not done. I gotta go back in and relay my vocals. I gotta go back in and
I made Pending a couple weeks after I got married.
Fresh in the new house, in the Glen house.
Glen household.
Yeah, man.
And it was like, I knew, like, it was weird because I knew it was something that was gonna get on the EP. Like, I just knew it. Like, I knew how it felt, and I'm like, he's gonna like this. I called him on FaceTime, like, yo, I got one for you. He listened to it through FaceTime. He like, yeah.
And immediately it started. Penny First Date wrote itself. Penny First Date wrote itself. Right when he played it, I got the synopsis, like, you're walking up, you're talking to a girl, you're a presumptuous piece of shit. You have to come off as an asshole, which is not hard for me because I am an asshole.
And
so, yeah. And
it's really produced very, very simple and simplistic. If you listen to Why Her, it's really simplistic. It's not too much going on. It's straight to the point. Simplicity.
Oh, but I love him for that.
Because
Pending is crazy to me.
I wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to be that way. It's gradually growth. Now the next EP, it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna get more crazier. So where you're like, wow, this sounds totally different, but it's still the same sound base. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot more bridges. You're gonna get a lot more singing. You're gonna get a lot more of me. You know what I'm saying? So, and also him, where you don't know who's doing what. Basically, that's why we're interchangeable. You know.
Breaking the format is something that is important. Like, I had a discussion with him a couple of days ago about like making sure we stay true to the core. Us being interchangeable is something that is definitely gonna come with each and every project after Why Her, but I really, really am excited to really like achieve our final form, as corny as that sounds. Like, and be like that fully interchangeable. That shit is, and on the next joint on Ill, you gonna get you definitely gonna see, like, you know, he's not gonna be alongside me. There are gonna be some records where he'll be in front, and you know, it's just more to give people the intent of what. Well, it's more to give people the purpose of why we created Neon Vice. It's 2 niggas that can really do whatever.
That's what's up. So why her? Like, why was that the title?
I was watching the Traveling Light. It's a song by Talib Kweli off his Radio Silence album. Yeah, shout out Talib Kweli and K Tronada. And towards the end or the middle of the end of the video, Dave Chappelle has a cameo in there, and he's just telling people to happen in real life. Put your phones down and just happen right now. You're so worried about everything that's happening to everybody else or what's happening in the past, and just exist right now, happen right now. So I was like, I love that quote. So I came up with the title, like, Why Her in Real Life. And while we were working on this shit, we kept calling it, you know, Why Her. and that sounded better to me. It was faster to say, and you know, I felt like for our first EP, like, you know, it's all business, it's all marketing. Neon Vice, why her? That's it. Neon Vice, why her? It's easy to say and it's easy to remember, and so yeah, and why her was basically the question that my family asked me when I went and got married at 22 years old. Why her? And that's the same thing for the EP. Like, why this girl? Why are you thirsting over this girl when you can, you know, like, you know, when you young? The premise of the EP is just being young and stupid, and being just uber thirsty, you know. And like, I think the only song that's about just being genuinely in love is Festive. The rest of the songs is just, you know, being thirsty, being in one night stands, being in relationships, you know, and you know, coming out of them with the sense of I could do it all over again if I wanted to.
Right.
Okay.
But why her? What makes her so
Better
important?
than
Exactly.
every other girl.
Exactly. Like,
That's super
we don't get it, and it's like, you know, you're not supposed to, because she's for me.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it. So I'm sure like somebody's watching this and they have no idea what you guys make. This might be their first time seeing you, and now they're interested in hearing you. What song would you direct them to listen to give them a taste of you?
That's a great question. United.
Yep.
Like it's fire.
I just wanted to make sure that we was on the same page, because it would definitely be United.
Fire. That joint's fire.
United.
Give me a little give us a little bit backstory on that joint. Like, how did y'all come about that song?
So United came from a song that one of my friends from Germany, his name is Kanye Boran.
Shout
Shout out to him.
Vice
man.
guy, Vice Collective.
He sent me, it was on like my birthday last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And it was called Happy Birthday Smooth, and had elements. The song had elements like the same bass lines and stuff like that from what Night It was. And I remember he sent it. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So I sent it to him. I think it was on Instagram story or something like that. He was like, yo, this is sick. So instantly my mind started running. I'm like, all right, cool. He likes it. So let me see what I can do. So I sent it back to him like, yo, this is sweet. Let's like take some of these similar sounds and let's create something totally in that vein.
Word.
So yeah, he lived in Germany, so we was FaceTiming back and forth on the computer and stuff like that, and sending back sound clips, ideas. I was doing bass lines, showing him what I actually wanted. He like, all right, cool, I can run that. What you think about this? Showing me chords, and then before we knew it, we were creating Nighted without knowing it was Nighted. And that's how it came about. We set up like, I think it was like a whole day, but it was like 4 o'clock in the morning over here. It was like the next day over there, like 10 a.m. or something. So yeah, we did that, and he sent it. We finished it, sent it. It took me a while to send it to him though. Like it was just like, dang. It was elements from the old beat that he knew he liked, but he had no idea this was coming. And then
you and Kanye both said what?
Yeah, I was like, hope Kel like it. That's what we said, because we was nervous. You know, Kel is he's intricate. Yeah, he's very intricate. You know what I'm saying? He either gonna like it or he not. And sometimes he has to wait for God to open that door and let him come in. That's
how.
At that time in that pocket when we was making stuff, it wasn't letting God open the door. He was just like cutthroat.
Yeah, I was like, this is not for me. Yeah. But I was driving my kids to school, and I was driving I remember coming down the street to come home, and the verse just came to me. The first verse: "Thirst in its purest form, need a spoon and a lighter, a tie from Vita," and I pulled over because it kept playing in my head. It kept those same 4 lines: "I donate those funds straight to my psyche, pay some attention and quench my thirst first. Promise you'll get your money's worth." And so it was writing itself, and that's I pulled over, wrote the verse, and then the hook came to me. And the first hook was we should probably release that for people, but it was really wordy. Stay tuned to your screen and keep me in your scene at this moment of dream.
It's still a good version.
And yeah, it's an ill version, but I think it was one of your homies, Nate B.
Yeah, shout out Nate B.
Shout out Nate
Brooklyn.
B. He heard the record and was like, he's like, this is amazing, it's great, but I feel like the chorus is too wordy. Now, I typically don't take people's criticism for shit. Fuck you if you don't like it. But I was like, he has a point, and I wasn't comfortable with it. And I promise y'all, it was just like 2 weeks before I posted the EP to DistroKid for it to be released. Shout out DistroKid. I changed the chorus.
Yeah, we changed it.
And I came in and I told T, I was like, you're gonna sing the underparts. And he was like, yo, this is crazy. And it came out way better than what I thought.
Yeah. That was in the middle of a studio session, actually.
That's dope.
That was 2 weeks before the actual release, which was also the backstory of the single "No Brains" that got switched.
Oh my god!
As well. Yeah. So yes,
but we would definitely direct niggas tonight. We would, well, not just niggas, but everyone,
everybody tonight,
all of you,
every last one of you.
So man, if y'all had any final words that y'all can tell the people out there, where they can go check you guys out, what would it be?
Neon Vice, the neon-vice.com. That was a poor opening. I'm gonna fix it. Neonvice.com. Neon-vice.com is the website.
Social media.
Yeah, neon_vice on Instagram.
Twitter.
Yep. Neon_vice on Twitter.
Facebook too.
Facebook too. Neon. I believe Facebook too is at facebook.com/neonvicemusic. That's where you'll find our page, and you can definitely hear, and you can also, I believe it's at soundcloud.com/neonvicemusic, or just Neon Vice. It escapes me right now, but all of the links are on our website. So if you go to our website and scroll all the way down, if you go to neon-vice.com, you scroll all the way down, it's all of our social media, and it's all linked to the page. You can follow us, like us, retweet, repost.
All of it.
And our EP, Why Her, is out right now. Everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Deezer.
Everywhere.
Shazam, Pandora, Tidal.
MySpace.
Your mom's house.
It's really good.
Is it? I thought it was the wrong thing.
It's just a nice vanilla original milkshake, and it's hit.
I thought it was the wrong thing. I thought it was
how he claimed it like out to be like just like he said it's a nice just regular vanilla milkshake.
Absolutely.
Some guys do neon and have so many colors in their life. Regular bland ass vanilla.
Okay. Most of that has to do with being nerdy.